What's up guys, it's Cryptic. Today we're going to be talking about Guild Wars and how to maximize our scores. So the first thing, we broke this video into 4 parts. It's going to be one, we're talking about the team composition. We're going to be talking about what kind of food we use as well. We're going to be talking about gear as the second point, the strategy as the third point, and then we're going to be talking about how we actually do the prioritization of skills in the match to get those ults going that we need. So first of all, I just want to show you guys my score. So I got, well, basically 1050 and 1100 in the easy and hard. This was today. It took like maybe, I'd say, well, total everything took like 25 runs. Between this, I think it was about 10 runs, and we did about maybe another 10 to 12 runs on hard to get that 1100 score. So we're going to be talking about the team first. So this is the team we're running. We're not running gold food. We are most likely either going to be running crit damage food, crit chance food, or ultimate gauge food. Ultimate gauge is not recommended if you're going for that max score, but if you definitely want to make the run a little bit quicker and you just want to kind of get it over and done with, ult gauge food can work for you. If you want to go for the max score, crit damage food is where it's at. So we'll put on that crit damage food. We head back to our team. This is basically the team we're going to be running. It's Gustav, Jericho, Helbram, and Gotha. Now everyone here has a part to play. Gotha stays on the left hand side. I'll show you guys why a little bit later in the video. Basically, Gotha is here for rank ups with trying to get a 3-star freeze, but ideally what we want to get is the 3-star Gotha rank up, which gives a 20% buff to everyone. We want to get a 3-star freeze from Gustav. We want to get a 3-star attacks related stats from Helbram. This buff stacks with the Gotha 3-star because the Gotha 3-star is similar to Arthur buff, where he gives, it's just base stats. The Helbram buff gives attack related stats which count as stuff like crit chance, crit damage. For Jericho, obviously, she's here for the nuke, she's here for that ult, and we want to maximize how much crit damage we can get. So in terms of gear, between Gotha, Gustav, and Helbram, you're just trying to keep them alive. It really doesn't matter what they run, just put as much gear as you can, give them the best HP stats, the best defense stats. For Jericho, you want to run an attack and crit. If you can, I believe the 3x crit damage set is going to give you the best score, but a lot of people don't have the investment to actually like try to level up those gear and stuff, right? That would include the bracelet and the ring being SSR crit with crit substats as well. So I would recommend, if you guys can, build an R ring or a common ring with crit damage set on it. I have the attack here just because it's a perfect attack roll. But other than that, you want to have crit damage, full crit damage here. Okay guys, so this is a pre-recorded run. We're just going to go through this strategy here. I'm going to tell you guys what I do, why I do it, and how to prioritize your skills, using your skills, and what you want to look out for, very key stuff you want to look out for during your run. So the first thing is, you would really want to make sure you use as many Jericho cards as possible to get her crit chance up. During the turn 1, this is the normal boss, so he's pretty easy to kill, right? The reason that I always use the Jericho weak point attack first is because this attack does 3x damage if the boss has a debuff, so obviously I use this before I debuff, just to prevent, well, to let him take as little damage as possible. The reason that I use all the other cards, these are 2 debuffs, and those apply debuffs to the boss, which gives me plus 5 points for every debuff that I apply. The Gotha card I use to just get as many cards out of my hand as possible, so that when I refresh, I can get as many new cards. Hopefully it'll be rank ups, freezes, and buffs. Now, there's one very critical thing in, well, so the reason that I run Gotha on the left hand side firstly is so that exactly this can happen, right? I use the arrow attack, the whatever you call that, and then I try to get a rank up to come down, so hopefully let it merge. So that's exactly what happened in this run. Luckily I got 2 Jericho cards that came down and this one merged, so what's gonna happen here is I just have to use these 2 cards in order to get my ult, right? If you see Jericho now, she should be at 3 ult gauge, yep. So let's say this didn't happen. If I got 1 Jericho card and some other stuff like Gotha cards or maybe a buff or whatever, what I do here is normally I would either, if I have a freeze, I'd merge it. If I have a buff, I'll merge it. And then I will move the Jericho card around so that I can charge my ult gauge, and then I will try to force Jericho's ult in the next turn. So that's if I only got like one Jericho card or two Jericho cards. Even if you get two Jericho cards, what's gonna happen is you'll end up, if you just play them both, you'll end up with 4 ult gauge. This only happens because I had a merge, so I have 3. So when I use these two, I'll end up at 5 ult gauge, giving me my ult next turn. So that's one key thing that you all guys want to look out for. So here, just merging cards is always better than playing rank 1 cards, because it gives you points, and in rank 1, if you play a rank 1 card, it only gives you plus 1 point. Merging a card I think is plus 3 points. Well, in this run, what I had to do is I merged a freeze, I got a rank 3 freeze, and oh, so right. So what happened is I merged a freeze, but I couldn't play the Gotha rank up, the 3-star freeze, the Hellbrim buff, and the ult all in this turn. So what I had to do is I had to wait another turn in order to try to get a 3-star everything. Now I moved the Hellbrim buff to the left side. I want a Hellbrim buff to come down and hopefully merge with this. And if that happens, then I can play this next turn, rank up these two, and then I'll have the Hellbrim buff at 3-star, the freeze at 3-star, and then my ult. And that would be the biggest damage that I can get. So, right. So the reason that I am a little hesitant here, what is happening here is actually I'm looking at my ult gauges. And if I do anything with Gustav, I'm gonna force the ult gauge, and I'm gonna force his ult to come down next turn, and it's gonna stop this from even being a possible merge, right? So if once I have an ult gauge full, it's definitely gonna bring down the ult gauge as the next card. Well, the ult as the next card, right? Which prevents me from getting that merge. So what I want here is I don't want to either use any Gotha cards, and I don't want to use any Gustav cards. And by don't want to use, I mean I can't play them, I can't move them. So what I do, I end up moving the Jericho card across just to burn the turn essentially, and hoping that a Hellbrim card comes down. Unfortunately, it didn't come down, and I'm kind of forced at this point to go ahead and do the maximum damage that I can do. So I use the 2-star Gotha buff, well, Gotha rank up, Hellbrim buff, 3-star freeze, and then the Jericho ult. Hits for 1.24. And this is a pretty good score. I think it was, yeah, like 862. That's a very, very good score. Okay guys, so we did the run about 30 times, and I actually ran out of ult food, or sorry, crit damage food, and it didn't turn out too bad because this boss actually has a multiplier where you get 35 points if you don't use any food, so it was fine. Yeah, so we finally got the 3-star Gotha buff. We have a 2-star Hellbrim, we have a 2-star freeze, and we're gonna have to build the Jericho ult for next turn. So we're gonna actually finish this in the turn after the boss ults, which is fine, and really you don't want to pass 2 turns after the boss ults. After that, you're going to start losing way too many points. So after that, you really want to forfeit and start over. If you can finish it, either the turn right after the boss ults, or the 2 turns after the boss ults, that's fine. If you can even do it the turn before the boss ults, I mean that's the best case scenario. So we force Jericho ult by moving the cards around. And here we have the 3-star buff, sorry, we have the 3-star Gotha, which gives 20% basic stats, the Hellbrim buff, which stacks, the 3-star freeze, and then we have the Jericho crit. So we're gonna see is what can this score be? $1.53 mil. I think that was my highest score yet. At 1065 on the first boss. And that's it. You guys can like, subscribe. I'm gonna leave my Twitch in the description below. Most likely I'm gonna be streaming Monday to Friday, so feel free to follow me there and look out for my new videos. I'm gonna be dropping videos on 7DS. depending on whatever kind of content comes out. I'm probably gonna make a PvP video next, so you guys can let me know in the comments if you want to see some PvP. Right now I'm challenging PvP, so let me know and I'll see what I can do.